So am I officially old then? I'm in the old man.
I would never tell you that, Matt, but
43. All right, that's what 43 is. It's all good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back again. Another episode of the Old Man Grappling Hour. I am Uncle Coach Kevin. I am extra excited today because today I get to have one of my BFFs. Not only one of my BFFs, it's someone that can honestly say has helped mold my life in so many different ways, and I'm forever grateful for him. And someone that I'm very lucky not only call mentor, but a friend.
Heck yeah.
Mr. Black Belt, ex-UFC fighter extraordinaire, Matt Arroyo. How you doing today, brother?
I'm great, man.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Excited. Excited to talk to you for an hour. We don't get to catch up as much as we used to.
We don't get to talk as much anymore.
But we're both busy, but here we are.
Nothing wrong with being busy. You can't make money unless you're busy. That's like a little trick of the trade.
This is true.
So just a little quick little detail. It's funny because as I was prepping for this podcast, it's a funny thing I do now that I have AI, of course.
As AI prepped this for me.
As I said, Chat GPT, give me some bio information on Matt Arroyo. I'm gonna honestly say that I take for granted being your friend.
Thank you.
When I look at the list of things that you've accomplished in your life and the things you've been able to put together, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, there ain't much left for this guy to do. It's just a few of them. First of all, obviously, you are a secondary black belt under Rob Kahn, legendary jiu-jitsu.
Third, but it's no big deal.
Third, exactly. Sorry, apologize. Exactly.
Who's counting? Who's counting at
we'll
this
just
point?
blame that one on the AI.
It's not perfect yet.
It's not perfect yet.
It will be.
Let's see. Former UFC fighter. You were on the reality show Tough.
Yeah. Yep.
You have coached several UFC fighters with not just coaching them, but you've got two fighters that have been in the UFC for extended periods of time, which is
still there.
Still there, which is another incredibly impressive detail. You run an extremely successful gym, Gracie Tampa South, and you were an amazing entrepreneur with several irons in the fire that we don't even have time to get into. My papers are flopping all over the place. ADCC Trials vet, winner of the ADCC Trials, ADCC World Championship vet. You won the Trials in 2014.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Family man, you're an awesome dude. You have your online systems. But
online courses, yeah. Yep.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think about all these things and I ask myself, what are some of the things that drive you? What are the things that get you to get to that point? What do you get the guy that's got everything?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been trying to figure it out myself, to be honest. Vision is a very powerful thing. I remember when I was 20 years old and I just started jiu-jitsu and I got out of college and all that stuff, and I was like, I had so many goals. I'm like, oh my gosh, the world is mine. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get my blue belt, purple, brown, black, I'm gonna open a gym, I'm gonna do it. And then once you start checking those off, it's I swear to you, every year is harder to create a goals list. And they get smaller and smaller, which is natural as long as you're hitting your goals. It should get smaller. You should desire less. I was reading an awesome book where he said, desire, I don't want to screw it up. Desire is, if you could limit your desires, you'll be more happy, right? If I have 500 desires, I won't be happy until I get those desires. But if you have just one and you hit it, it makes you very happy. It's like a contract you have with yourself and to be unhappy until you get what you want. It was something like that. I was like, that's very wise. But yeah, what drives me now is I have a family, right? So anybody out there who is single, you don't know drive yet. I mean, you think, you want to be rich, you want to be famous, you want to be this, that. That's good and everything, but the second you have a wife and you pump some kids out and you have, 2 or 3 kids that you're responsible for their life, and you can't screw this up because you'll screw up a human. I've never been driven like that. That drive right there, being a dad and providing, and it's the biggest self-improvement course you can ever go through. Because they will get to you eventually. And he's seen me break a few times. He's seen me crack. But yeah, no, my kids and my family, my wife, that's what drives me today. All the cool goals like the UFC. You forgot the video game. No big deal.
No big deal.
Things like that were so important to me at one time. And now, having done that, it's like, well, that was cool, but nothing is as important as what I'm doing now, which is growing a family. Yeah.
I had a podcast last week with a psychologist friend of mine, Diego Sanchez, pretty renowned psychologist
nice.
at USF, and we talked about that. And it's one of my favorite things to talk about is your why. One of the books you sent me. I think is Understand Your Why or something like that.
Start with why.
Start with why.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things in my life that has centered me. You know, and when you realize that all of the other bells and whistles are just what you do to get your why, it makes everything more empowering. And when I run my business, like I make sure all of my people and all my business people understand my credo, understand my rationale, and understand my why, because that's empowering. Money is just money.
Yeah.
You know, things, TV shows, all that stuff is great, but it means nothing. It's unfulfilling unless you're chasing your why.
Yeah, the why is the most important, because whatever you're going for, whether that be ADCC or try to make it to the UFC or try to get your black belt, it is hard. It is so hard to do all those things that when it gets tough, there has to be something extra that pulls you along the finish line, or at least another milestone, and that's your why. If your why is weak, you're going to quit when the going gets tough, and that's what almost everybody does. Like there's a video with Dana White, and he's like, even if you're just a little bit savage right now, you're going to destroy everybody, because everybody's just like kind of drifting around right now. You know, with social media, and maybe you're even watching this on social media and you're drifting around right now. It's okay for this thing. But if you even just have a little savage in you, a little bit of go-getter, a little bit of any of that, you're going to be ahead of the game because of the law of universal suckage, right? Universal suckage says that most people are not going to do what it takes to succeed. They don't have the big, strong whys. They don't have the desire, the drive, the discipline. So if you just had a little bit of it, just a little bit, you'll push past them and you'll get what you want. You'll get that desire. But it does take the why. If you don't have the why, you will quit. Maybe not the first obstacle, maybe not the second obstacle, but the one that takes everybody out, you're going to quit along with them. But the why, if you have that why, if you're a fighter and you're looking to get in the UFC and you're in a third round of a fight, which not many people in the world have been in the third round of a pro fight. You've already been fighting 10 minutes, 2 minutes rest. You're in the end of the third round. You're freaking exhausted. Or in a tournament, you're in the finals. You're freaking exhausted. That why is going to get you to push a little extra hard. That why, and even if your why is like, I want to prove myself in jiu-jitsu, I want to show that I'm the best in the world. There's a lot of people who like to talk trash before a match or before a UFC fight because they don't want to look like an idiot. So like that drives them. Like, oh, I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to do this. Even Gordon Ryan with the little notes, I'm going to put that note. Don't you think he has a really strong why now to get that submission?
He better get
how bad would that be?
They open that up and
he doesn't get that triangle.
Hook and he gets a triangle.
Yeah,
right.
or he gets submitted.
Or he gets submitted, exactly.
Yeah. So everybody's different, and ego plays a big role, I believe. Some people with the biggest egos have the biggest whys, and they're unbreakable. But yeah, you need a why. That's key.
Do you think that having the right why is what separates the doers from the pretenders? And I'll use it in this context because, you know, obviously me and you, we've been around the fight game for a long time. Like I've seen fighters my entire life, from boxing to UFC to the MMA to jiu-jitsu. Like I've been around tons and tons of people that come up to me and say, hey, I'm going to be a professional fighter. I'm going to be in the UFC. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it seems to me that a lot of times their why is just because they want to look cool. Or they want to be able to
you hit the
put the
nail on the
freaking
head.
Instagram. Tell me a little bit about what you think that entails.
Yeah, I've seen, you know, we've been open at the time of this recording, we've been open 18 years this November.
Wow,
and
I've
watched hundreds of people come through the door, thousands of people come through the door, but hundreds of people come through the door and they tell me, I want to be in the UFC. And I look at them and I say, oh, that's a great goal. It's going to take a lot of work. But you could tell even the people who I think may have a chance may not even have a chance. Like, it's so hard to get in the UFC nowadays, and it's even harder to stay. So the ones who are, this is how you could tell. I listened to a great podcast by Ed Milet a few weeks ago, and he said, don't listen to what people say. He's like, every time someone's talking to you, just turn the mute button on. And then just when the conversation's over, just go watch. Watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. And that's a perfect analogy for these fighters, where they come in, hey, Matt, I'm going to be in the UFC. You watch. I'm going to be your best student. I'm going to be in here and I just go, dude. And I just like,
yeah, I got you.
I'm like, you got it, man. Good. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is not the one. He's not going to be the guy that makes it. It's never the guy that says that stuff. It's never. The guy with his girlfriend, you're so beautiful. I love you so much. You mean the world to me. That's the guy that cheats. It's always the one that's overcome. It's the guy that shows you how rich he is with his big watch and his big car. And that's the guy that's about to go broke.
That's about to go broke.
It's always the ones that talk so much and overcompensate that don't have it really going on. And those are the guys that don't make it. So when I see a guy and I always mention him in most of my podcasts because I really do think he's going to make it to the UFC. His name is Will. He trains here. Will Rentz. I don't know if I've ever had more than 4 sentences total with the guy, besides like, how you doing?
Very quiet kid.
He just comes in and he works. He probably works too hard. He gets hurt a lot because he just overworks. He doesn't say, I'm going to be your next guy. I'm going to be this, that. He just comes in and quietly puts the work in. I don't, every Friday he's here. Unless he has a fight coming up that next Friday, or unless he's here and he's at Billy Q's and he's sparring and he's training, and there's a picture every night and he's in that picture. That's the kind of guy that's going to make it. And he goes in and he wins his fights. He goes in, and if he loses, it doesn't like break him. He's like, my why is strong. I'm going to be this guy. And it makes him push even harder. He's the guy that's going to, if I had to put money on it, like $100,000, I would, out of all of our guys, him. Another guy, Ali, he's in there as well. He's just working his butt off. So these guys, I don't have to hear a word out of their mouth. I just watch, and I'm like, and maybe even they don't have a chance. I think they do, but maybe even then, even they can get to 10-0, and still something bad. They get an injury, or something crazy happens, or they don't have the right manager to get them, or whatever it is. Maybe even they don't make it. So I see this a lot, unfortunately, and so advice to any of you guys watching this who are up and coming, you want to be a world champion in jiu-jitsu, you want to be a fighter, you want to be whatever, don't talk that much. Just be the guy or the girl who goes in and just does the doing instead of talk the talk. Like, watch out for the quiet ones. That's always the guy that's harping, yeah, I'm going to kick your ass. Da, da, da. He doesn't know how to fight. He's just trying to scare everybody. Like, the guy who's quiet, those are the guys that make it. So they usually have a big why.
So I have a little saying, and this is something that I always like to do as an instructor and as a coach. Like, again, just like yourself, like I've heard 100 stories, 100 different people come to me. I can't tell you, I was laughing the other day at one of my students in the morning class. I said, I wish I had a quarter for every person that came up to me and told me they were going to come train on Tuesday, because I wouldn't need a gym anymore. I wouldn't need a gym anymore. I just sketch up all them quarters and be good to go.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that I enjoy about coaching, because I can look at someone in this course of about 5 minutes and generally get enough of an understanding. This person's full of shit.
Yep.
He's not going to do it. He's going to find a reason. Or an excuse, and
Yep.
he ain't going to happen. But the one thing that I love more than anything is when people prove me wrong. There's something about that. There's something about having someone that in your mind, you don't even think twice about it, never going to make it, and you go, wow, he's kind of getting there.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, it proved me wrong, man.
Oh, man, and there's nothing better than that as a coach, to be proved wrong. Like, all right, well, he was talking a lot, and hey, he's in the UFC now.
Right.
That would be great. Like, it just very rarely happens.
Yeah. So, you talked a little bit about how difficult it is to get to the UFC.
Yes.
And and obviously even now it's even more
harder.
difficult than when it was, 10, 15 years ago. It's crazy how deep the talent pool is, and how
Scary.
How much. Like, talk about some of the things that you've seen, because we've known some good guys, like Troy Gerhardt. He should have been in the UFC. Has the talent to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
Sometimes luck just doesn't happen for you.
Yeah. I interviewed on my podcast Jim Miller, and he has the longest career in the UFC ever. He has the most fights of any human in the UFC. And I asked him how he did that, and he said a lot of it was luck. And when he said that, he meant like he didn't get any major injuries. Like, he was able to just keep fighting every year. And he has, the most, I think he has either the most wins or just the most fights in the UFC. So sometimes it's luck. The injury gods are nice to you, and you don't get like a knee surgery that puts you out a year, or this or that, or a career-ending injury. What was the question?
Yeah, some of the things that keep you from getting to the UFC. How difficult it is to get to the UFC now.
And the other thing is, so there's obviously luck with that, and then the correct choice for fights. So this is what a lot of people, including myself back in the day, screwed up big time. Is you would think, like, let's get the toughest guys to fight so that I'm battle tested and ready for the UFC. And some people, like John Jones, could probably have done that, and he would have been fine. But most people can't do that. Like, that's a stupid way to go. The smart way to go is to create a warrior in the training, and then go and fight in the pro, professionally against the medium guys. I'm not saying like you find a guy 4-16, because there are guys who are 4-16 and they'll take a fight for a paycheck and get knocked out in round one. That's not going to do much for you. I'm talking about like 9-6, something like that, like the medium, like 10-7, 3-3, 3-2. Those kinds of guys. If you just fight those guys, you will get better because this person didn't get the memo that you're supposed to win today. He's going to try to hurt you, right? So you're getting the experience, but then when you get to the cage, this cage that we're in right now, and you're training every Friday, every Saturday, or whatever, that's where you're getting the guys that could destroy you, and you get beat. Gary Tonin just posted something. It was like, in the last 5 rounds I've went and did jiu-jitsu, I got submitted around 15 times on average. Tell me you don't have an ego. Something like that.
Right.
Like, that's good. If you can get submitted here in MMA or oh man, he could have TKO'd me there, and you're in here, you'll get better, right? You got guys who could do that to you. You're going to naturally get better and better. You go into your fights. But the key to getting into the UFC is a perfect record. I mean, I hate to say it, or as close to perfect as you can get. If someone's 8-0, they will get on the Contender Series if you have the right person that whispers the name Deshaun Shelby. Hey, he's 8-0. Five of his last fights are finishes.
Right.
That's sexy. They want to put that 8-0 on the screen for everyone to see. So what happens is you get a guy like Troy Gerhardt who's very tough, and we made a very big mistake. We put him against a guy named, I forget his name, Scott Heckman or something like that, in a main event of CFFC when he had a very good record, and the guy beat him, but it was a tough fight. That could have been a UFC fight.
He had almost beat, almost
that
knocked him out.
should have been a UFC fight, right? Another example I'll say is it wasn't my decision, but one of our coaches here at the time was Mike Perry versus Dave Mundell.
Yeah,
that fight should have never happened.
I forgot that
outside of the UFC. They were both 6-0.
Yeah,
2 guys who are UFC caliber. We've already seen what Mike Perry did in the UFC. We already see what he's doing now. He's just a savage. Dave Mundell is an equal savage. He's killing everybody right now. Isn't he the champion in bare knuckle?
Bare knuckle boxing champ, middleweight champ.
He should have been in the UFC 100%. That fight doesn't happen.
He's in the UFC.
And you just wait.
Yeah.
And we get him on the Contender. He knocks that guy out. He's in the UFC his whole life. Whatever. Everything happens for a reason. He's doing great now. He's making money and everything's good. But they both should have been in the UFC together. That fight should have never happened for $2,000 in front of 1,000 people.
And it's funny too because the difference between 9-0 and 7-2 is huge.
It's huge. It's like
especially now.
The game of inches, right? Like if the fastest runner in the world is a second behind this, first place, it's not even close. Like it's the same thing with golf. If you're a couple putts behind, like you're out of you're not even elite yet. So it's the same thing in this. Those 2 guys, 6-0, they get on the Contender. They both knock out their opponents. They're both in the UFC. Who knows what could have happened? So I think choosing the right fights is probably, after you're obviously already a skilled fighter, you got to have good skills. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere without good skills. You got to have good ground. You got to have good striking, good wrestling, and have a specialty somewhere. And you start winning fights. And then it's about picking the right fights, getting that perfect record, or as close to perfect. 9-1's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
If you can get a streak, get on the Contender Series, get in the UFC, and go from there and see how you do. But that's the difference, man. Like a perfect record, picking the right fights, and then having extreme luck and not getting seriously hurt in that process.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. I talk about that as in the realm of professional athletes quite a bit, and I think about that. One of the hidden skill sets that people don't really think about because they don't consider it a skill set is just staying healthy.
Staying healthy,
like
man.
Billy, for the most part, Billy Quarantella was a mutant. Yeah. He was able to continue grinding because he didn't have it easy.
Yeah,
Billy wasn't one of them guys that went 10-0 and made it to the UFC. He was a lifer. He was a career guy. Yep. And part of the reason why he was able to continue grinding and getting better is because somehow or another he was able to stay healthy in this incredibly difficult sport.
Yeah. And then he had his injuries, but he was right back.
Yeah.
Like Favola too. Like he had surgeries, but he was literally right back. Yeah. Like these guys. And again, you're going to get injured eventually, and when it happens, don't take too much. Like Billy, I think he had, I don't know if it was an ACL. I always get confused with the knee, but it was the one that put you out a year. Yeah. He was in a boxing ring fighting 9 months later. Yeah. He was like, well, I can't do jiu-jitsu, but I could box. And so it's that mentality. I got to be there and do something. Like and his boxing got 10 times better from that fight.
I remember that.
So
he won that fight too.
And he won. Yeah, he won.
Everybody was like, "Don't do it."
No, including myself. By the way, I was like, "Dude, this is stupid. What are we doing here?" He's like, "I got this." I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. And sometimes you got to just trust the fighter as well. They know
Billy's
themselves.
a special guy. Billy's a special guy. He's one of them people that I always make the joke about Billy. Nobody really coaches Billy. He does. You give him ideas, you give him pointers, and he listens.
Yeah.
But Billy is just he just makes things happen. He is just
Yeah.
so driven. He looks at that thing and he does his own little way and he gets it done.
Yeah. And if you don't know, we're talking about Billy Quarantillo. He's in the UFC. He started here in 2010 when he was like 20 years old.
I remember that.
Got on the Ultimate Fighter, and then had a stint out, beat a few really tough guys, and then got back into the UFC, and he's still in the UFC.
I remember that.
Years later.
One of my favorite stories, Billy Quarantillo and Matt Frivola. I remember you were out of town one day.
Yeah.
The first day, this is the old school. This
Yeah.
is the place. The first day they ever came to train together, I was running sparring that day. And they walked in the door together.
Didn't know each other.
Didn't know each other. And they
weird.
freaking went in and started banging. I'm not lying to you. For the next 5 years, I thought they were friends.
Yeah.
From freaking, and it's the incredible odds of two random dudes walking into the gym
impossible.
at the same time that are now both not just UFC fighters, but like long-term lifers in the UFC.
They've been in there.
Pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
That's like the odds are almost impossible that two guys show
Yeah.
up the same day, don't know each other, end up living together, and
Astronomical.
both becoming UFC
Astronomical.
fighters.
It was a joy and a pleasure. One of the few things in my life that I really consider to be absolutely amazing to watch those guys climb the ladder together. They did.
And I remember when I got back, I was actually on an MMA cruise. I was teaching on an MMA cruise. When I got back, you and a few other guys were like, there's some two tough kids who just joined. Like, they don't have much experience, but man, they held their own with Josh and these guys. I'm like, oh wow. And then I met them, and they pretty much fought right away.
So let's change speeds here a little bit. We talked about how incredibly complicated and how diverse, not just the UFC, but the overall idea of what, jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts and the whole thing has become. Let's talk a little bit about the old days when you were first starting, when you were on Tough and you were getting into the UFC scene, how much different it was back then.
Well, I'll be honest, it was a lot easier. Like, to get on the Ultimate Fighter back then, I had 3 fights. I was 2-1. I had about a year of MMA experience, and I was a pretty good purple belt. That was it. I didn't have much wrestling, almost no striking, and I got on. And so back then, they were looking for at least for the Ultimate Fighter, they were looking for characters. And I wouldn't consider myself a character, but I played it off. Like, I with the help of Monster Lobster crafting a character for me, I wowed the producers of Spike TV.
Quick little, if you haven't seen season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter with Monster Lobster, go watch it. It's season 5.
Yeah.
Maybe the best season
It's
of
the
television in the history of reality television.
It is. Go to Fight Pass, type in season 5. You got Nate Diaz on there. You got Monster. You got Joe Lozon, Manny Gamburin. Like, it was such a cool season. By far the best one. But yeah, so he got on one of my good friend Alan Monster Lobster. And he got on with 3 fights, but he was the character. He was the character. He was the one. And he had a restaurant called Monster Lobster. And at the end of the season, he sent the entire UFC staff lobster rolls. They're like, "What is this?" And he just made friends with everybody. And when he got back, he said, "I could get you on the Ultimate Fighter. You just have to do exactly what I say." I'm like, and talk about the why. Like, that's all. I just wanted to be famous. Like, that was literally. I had no desire to get punched in the face. No, I loved jiu-jitsu. I knew I wanted to open a gym, and I thought, well, if I can get some recognition, some fame, some whatever that is, this will help me open a gym. That was always my end goal. Like, it was never, I don't have with these Billy Q and Matt Frivola, like, what they want, and they want to get the belt. They want to knock out the best guys. Dude, I could care less about knocking out the best guys or submitting the best guys in MMA. That wasn't my thing. But I am an opportunist, just like you. And if an opportunity presents itself, it takes a little bit of courage, a little bit of faith, and I just go do it. So when Alan got back, Monster, he says, "I can do it." He's like, "But the problem is you're 1-1." And the only reason I fought to begin with, because I saw Alan get in the cage and choke somebody out, and I realized, okay, Alan's a white belt. I choke him out every day. He choked him. Let me just see if I could do this. That was my first fight. And then I enjoyed it because I won in 56 seconds. So I'm like, well, let's try a second fight. That was pretty fun. Everyone's screaming my name. I'm like, this is cool. When you're 20 years old, 22 years old, like, that's all you want is just look at me. Like, I want to prove myself. And I don't know if that ever really ends, but it lessens as you get older. So my second fight was against Matt Brown in the UFC.
Good number 2 fight.
Good number 2 fight, yeah, not in the UFC. Matt Brown, you may know him from the UFC.
The RFC. Yeah.
But it was in the RFC, and I wasn't supposed to fight him. He had like 10 fights already. I only had 1, but my opponent backed out at weigh-ins. He punched a wall. He was so excited to fight, he punched the wall, broke his hand. It was all bull crap. Matt Brown happened to be at weigh-ins. I told Joe Valdez, the guy that runs RFC, I was like, dude, I got to fight somebody. I just trained for 6 weeks. So I'm looking around and I see a guy with cauliflower ear. I'm like, this guy looks like he could fight. He's about my size. So he asked him and he said yes. So I'm like, oh shoot, why do you say yes so fast?
It's funny too because you're with this. It's a world that would never happen. That's not even.
Yeah.
There's not even a conceivable universe.
Yeah, these are the good old
where
days.
you would just pick somebody out of the audience with cauliflower ear on the night of the fight and say, hey, let's fight.
Yeah. Well, it was at the weigh-ins.
With the weigh, right,
He was
exactly,
there
right.
cornering this girl. And I was like, he's one of the coaches. He has cauliflower. He looks about my age, my size. Let's go. And he said yes. And I was like, well, why did he say yes? So then after you like create this, then you start to think like, wait a minute, why did he say yes so fast?
Now you wrote the check. Your ass got
Yeah,
cashed.
now I got to cash this. I'm like, wait.
Now you got to fight Matt Brown.
Why did he say yes? I'm like, Joe, what's this guy's deal anyway? He's like, oh, he just fought last week, so he's in shape. He won by TKO. I'm like, oh, perfect. How many fights does he have? He's like, you got. And that back then it was tough to like. There was the topology wasn't really.
Yeah, there
like,
wasn't really.
updated.
Yeah, you took this guy's word for it.
Yeah, there was Sure Dog, and I looked it up. I'm like, wait, 7
There
fights here.
wasn't no like Instagram reels or nothing to watch.
So he had a bunch of fights. I don't know, amateur. You could do a bunch of amateur back then where he was from. I think it was in Ohio or whatever, and then whatever. So more experience, and he's Matt Brown, right? So I lost that fight. In my head, I'm like, that was the worst feeling ever. I got TKO'd. I was embarrassed. I'm like, I don't want to do this crap anymore. I never wanted to do this to begin with. I'm done. And then Alan gets back from Ultimate Fighter, and he's like, I can get you on.
Hey, you want to be famous.
And then I was like, well, we'll see. Let's just go to the tryouts, right? He's like, okay. So I don't know if anyone knows the Bubba Army, Bubba the Love Sponge, but we were close with, well, we still are close with Bubba the Love Sponge. And Rob Kahn was very good friends with him back in the day, and Rob Kahn's my coach. And he linked us up, and they were going to the UFC in Texas, the same UFC where Matt Serra knocks out GSP. And they invited us to come with them on their bus and this and that and hang with them and you know, be a part of their radio show. And I was like, damn, that's cool. It's going to help me get on the Ultimate Fighter because the Ultimate Fighter tryouts were the next day.
Yeah.
That's how they used to do it. They'd have a UFC, and then that Sunday was the tryouts for the Ultimate Fighter. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. So the Ultimate Fighter tryouts back then, they were just looking for personalities. So I show up. Alan's like, you have no personality. He's like, you're like a white belt. He's like, I got to get you to purple belt in one day. I was like, how are we going to do that? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, let's get you wasted. I'm like, oh, okay. So I do the grappling part, sober. I tap my guy out. I do the striking part. I hit the pads. Everything was fine. And then the third part was the interview, which I was freaking terrified. I'm like, I was already kind of shy, and like, I was only in my low 20s. I'm like, if they're looking for someone like Monster, that's not me. He's like, all right, let's go. He takes me to the bar, and I'll never forget it. He puts 4 shots down on the table. He's like, all of them, go. I'm like, all right, 1, 2, I forget what it was, tequila or something, 3, 4. He's like, how you feeling, bud? How you feeling? I'm like, well, it hasn't really hit me yet, but I think I'm going to be pretty good after this. He's like, okay, let's go. Get back in line. So I'm in line. There's the door. Next guy goes in, comes out. He looks all pissed off like he didn't get it. Next guy, I'm like, oh, man. And all of a sudden, like on frickin', what's it with Will Ferrell? Wait. You know, it hit me. I'm like, whoa.
Once it hits your lips.
I got a dart in my neck. No, so I opened the door, and I'm like, dude, I got this. Alan told me exactly what to say. I got it memorized. I walk in. I just start talking trash, man. That's all they wanted back then.
They just want to see you talk shit.
I was like, like, you guys are asking me questions. I'm like, I should be asking you questions. Why do you want me on the show? Like, how are you going to get me on the show? Like, oh, I got this, I got that. And they started asking questions. When he was like, what are you, gay? I'm like, yeah, I am gay. I was like, I am. I'm going to be the toughest gay guy you ever had in the UFC. I'm going to be sponsored by Skittles, this, that. Dude, they were laughing and laughing. I had a beer in my hand. I'm like, let's go. I drink it. I'm freaking pouring on myself. I'm like giving them beers. They're like, get out of here. I'm like, no, I'm not getting out till you say I'm on the show. I start talking. They're like, get out or you ain't getting on. I'm like, peace. Dude, that was my interview. And I woke up the next morning. I'm like, dude, I think it went really well. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I was saying to them, but they liked it. They were laughing. And I got the call back, and I got on the show. But back then, that's how it was. Like now, you got to have the record. Like 2-1 guy.
There ain't no.
Go look on the last 15 UFC Ultimate Fighters. You're not getting none. So back then, so I want to say, and this may be discrediting myself, whatever you want to call it. It was definitely way easier to get back in the UFC back then. And from there, I won a few fights on the show. I got a chance to fight in the finale, and I beat the guy in the finale, and they gave me a contract. So that's how I got my contract. Today, you got to get like an undefeated record. You have to go to the Contender Series with your undefeated record and fight another guy with an undefeated record.
Just to get on the show.
You don't just have to beat him. You got to beat him impressively and show Dana like, dude, I just knocked this guy out with a flying knee. And Dana's like, you're in. But if you just do like a boring 3-round win, he doesn't even look at you anymore. He's like, he wrestled. It's too much. And we're talking about competing. Abu Dhabi, same thing. Like the guys I beat were pretty freaking good. It was like Steven Martinez and Josh Hayden and
you beat Joe Baez too. You beat Joe, right?
So I didn't beat Joe Baez, but it was another guy from the
what was it?
10th Planet.
10th Planet, right?
Yeah, and he was good. He was my first match, and he was like the toughest match of the day.
Nice guy submissions, I think. Was
yeah,
the
so
gym,
I was
right?
like, but I look back today, and it was my 12-year goal to make it to ADCC. But I was like, I only faced 4 guys. Like the guys today that are going to make it in.
It's 2
days of
two-day
freaking
tournament.
There's
You got to win
300
eight,
people in one
eight
division.
matches. Yeah, it's insane.
Dude, 8 to 10 matches just to make it there.
Just to make it there.
Again, the guys I went against were tough. I trained my butt off. I did what I did. I got the medal to get in. You put that next to my name forever. I don't care if it was 4 guys, if it was 2 guys. But today, dude, it's a different animal. It's getting harder to get in the UFC. It is harder to get in the UFC, and it's way harder, even harder than that to get into ADCC now.
Yeah, it's
like the guys in the trials that win. That could be an ADCC division. A lot of those guys, the top 3 of each.
I've been watching the ADCC trials. I've competed in them for the last freaking shit since 2016. I think was my first go at it. Yeah, and I've watched it over the last 4 years since Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan just put everything. Then Mo took over a little bit more, and a little more into it. But like, I've watched them go from, just in a high school arena, high school freaking gymnasium to like, now they're booking, venues in Vegas and Atlantic City.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane.
And the level of jiu-jitsu has risen to. It's crazy how much the game has changed. Over the last freaking 4 years, 5 years. It's just an instant explosion.
And a lot of that is just thanks to Gordon Ryan. People love him or hate him. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the way he is. I think,
but it's undeniable what he does.
Amazing grappler. He beat me twice when he was like little Gordon, pretty easily. One of them was like a 10-minute match, but still, like he's amazing. But there's one tournament he's never won, and I know it eats at him. And I know he'll never be able to do this tournament ever again. And he could die with 45 ADCC titles, but he has never won the trials.
That's a good point.
The one I won, he was in that division.
Yeah.
He beat me twice after that. But it's just funny to say because
he was 15.
I know if he was only 17 and he was like 170 pounds. But I know if he sees this clip, he's going to be upset because he knows he's never allowed to do the ADCC trials, and he will he will go down in his coffin without that ADCC trials champion next to it. But who cares? Because he's going to have 50 ADCC champions. But hey. Anyway, Josh Hayden submitted him that tournament with a heel hook, and
did he really?
Yeah.
That's what we brought. That's when we brought him down here to. I remember Josh Hayden.
Yeah, and then I beat Hayden in the finals.
Yeah, I miss Josh Hayden. He's a guy that unfortunately doesn't get as much recognition just because he hurt his back. He hurt his back, but he was incredible.
He was, and my very first trials. My very first trials I ever went to, because I had the goal to be in the ADCC. My second trials. There was this purple belt who was killing everybody, and I'm like, if I fight him in the finals, I'm going to beat him. He's a purple belt. But he just kept winning, and within seconds, just with these heel hooks. And then, like, I'm going against this one guy. He beats me, and then Josh beats him in, like, 10 seconds. And Josh wins the trials. I was like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, who is this guy? And what is this magic he's doing with these legs? And this is before leg locks were cool. Like, he was doing them. He was Joe Baez, all those guys, they were doing them.
You could even, honestly, listening to the timeline, you could even make the debate that Josh Hayden could partially be responsible for the explosion of the leg locks, because just think about it. Josh Hayden beats Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan's a kid. He goes back to Jordan Ryan, goes back to John Danaher and says, hey, John Danaher, I got beat by a heel hook. I don't want to get heel hooked anymore. And then Eddie Cummings and John Danaher put their heads 100%. Together and create the greatest leg lock system in the history of grappling. Now everybody's doing leg locks.
Josh doesn't get enough credit, for sure. I remember when I was also on EBI with, that's where I went against Gordon for the second time, but Josh went against Gordon later in that night. And this is when Gordon, this is when Gordon was finishing everybody by heel hook pretty simple, just pretty easily, just heel hooking people. And I remember there was one, I was already lost, and I'm sitting there just watching, all pissed off, but I'm watching. And at one point, Gordon has him in a heel hook, and Josh was on the ground like this. He's did it on purpose, like he went like that. Well, I was like, how many people in the world, when they're in Gordon Ryan's leg lock, are that comfortable to be able to make a joke? And he wasn't even close to being finished, and he ended up losing in overtime. But He's amazing. Josh Hayden was awesome.
What do you think about? And it's a little. Might even be a little almost a dated question because it's already kind of come and gone. But there was a time. There's always been fads in jiu-jitsu. There's always been little periods. You could talk about maybe butterfly guard with Marcelo Garcia. You can talk about deep half guard with Bernardo Faria. There's always little fads in jiu-jitsu that tend to dominate for a while, and then everyone kind of figures it out, and then it's still there, but it's not like a magic weapon anymore, a magic secret weapon anymore. And in my opinion, heel hooks was kind of that secret weapon for a long time.
Oh yeah, 2014, 15, 16, 17.
It was like the gimmick that wouldn't go away.
When John Danaher created Enter the System, and he shared the leg lock system and he did it with BJJ Fanatics. I actually asked Danaher to do it with me 2 years before that. I was I wasn't the right person at the right time. But it happened the way it was supposed to happen.
You got zinged.
But I did. I asked him, and he's like, we're gonna do a site eventually. He's like, but I want our guys to beat. And he wrote me back pretty quickly. I want our guys to beat everybody there is to beat. Then I'm gonna release it. I'm like, that's fair enough. So he did release it with BJJ Fanatics, which was the right people at the right time because it got out to everybody. And from what I understand, that course did millions and millions of dollars in its first.
I just bought it about a year ago.
In its first week.
Selling. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that doesn't happen in jiu-jitsu long.
Not even now.
Not even
possible.
now. Yeah,
but we're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah. Like Gordon's stuff does millions of dollars, but that's about it. Like nobody else. Gordon's and John Danaher's stuff do millions of dollars in Fanatics. I think over time, yes, maybe like the Tom DeBlasses and those guys end up making that later, but nobody's making that in one DVD or one course in 1 week or one launch. There's just no way.
What do you think? And again, it's kind of almost a stupid question now, but what do you think about leg locks' place in jiu-jitsu as a whole? And that's a silly question, but I think you kind of understand where I'm going with that. Yeah.
I think it was a magical thing in 14, 15, 16, 17 when these guys were just destroying everybody with it and nobody knew how to defend it. And then they started teaching it and they started releasing the courses and teaching the seminars and everybody started learning it. I believe now it's literally just part of jiu-jitsu now. Yeah. It's
just another part of the game.
Just another part of the game where if you don't know it, you're kind of screwed. But it's just like the upper body game.
But if you don't know the mount,
guillotines,
if you don't know close guard, you got to learn it. You got to learn it.
That was the fad. And then now it's kind of not a fad anymore. Like if someone came out with a leg lock DVD, it's not going to sell.
Like leg locks for dummy?
It's not going to sell as much. Like leg locks for dummies. It won't sell as good as that now.
No, but it's still available on UncleCoachKevin.com if you're interested.
It is. If you're an older guy and you don't want to break your legs, go buy that. I did tell Kevin when he first started putting stuff out that he should do something for older guys.
Yep.
And he took that. So anyway. But I say that the fads that happen after that is just like in the last 3, 4, 5 years, wrestling up.
Yep.
Wrestling up, people are killing that. Like you see like Nicky Rod, he'll sit to just wrestle up. People will just sit to wrestle up. And now it's all about that camping.
Yeah.
Just
guard passing.
Guard passing and just lying your weight on the person and smothering them. And I think Gordon just came out with something about that. Wagner was looking to do something like that. He does that passing style. That's what's the new fad.
It's funny, and I kind of talked to Robbie about this a little while ago when I had him on the podcast, and it's funny how you see what the basic foundations of jiu-jitsu, because the foundation of jiu-jitsu never changed. You advance to positional dominance because you get better, he gets worse. Right? And one of the major components of that is guard passing, and one of the major components of guard passing is pressure.
Right.
And like it always has been, and to this day, it still is the greatest. I mean, there are dudes that are old Brazilian guys, and I'm not talking trash, I'm just being honest.
Sure.
They have a very basic fundamental game.
Yeah.
They're very pressure oriented. They're going to get an underhook, they're going to shoulder pressure to death, and they're going to take their time, and they're going to pass their guy in their advance.
Yep.
And I will tell you, across the board, they are still, especially in the gi, they're still some of the toughest guys in the world.
They're still relevant. It still works.
There's no escaping the foundations. And pressure, too much to my appreciation, is all of a sudden, pressure passing. It's like, it was always there.
There it is. Yeah,
Right.
It just recycles. But along with the 2 points I said about making it was obviously having a lot of luck, not getting injured, going against the right people. You can't really have that luxury in jiu-jitsu because you go against who you go against. But the third thing I would say is if you're just starting out and you didn't even train yet, find a school that really, really focuses on the fundamentals. because that's going to be your foundation for the rest of your career. You could always learn the cool stuff from the DVDs and the YouTubes, but find one that has, like Rob Kahn always used to say, he's like, if I was to take the prototype student, I would send them to Horian Gracie to learn all the fundamentals first. And then today that would be like Henner and Huron, because that's Horian's son. But he's like, Horian teaches the fundamentals better than anybody in the world. He dumbs it down. He makes it like, if you can just take a year or two and just learn the basics, go from white to blue under him, then Rob would say, then come see me and I'll show you the different pressure stuff and all that.
Yeah, he still teaches on that 27, like they have 27 techniques oriented.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's it. So you only get one chance to build your foundational fundamentals and drive those into your body. Because after that, that's why I always say, like, all the guys that want to come in and fight right away, I'm like, no, get your blue belt first. Like, do you want to just go in there and just do what feels right? Or do you want to know exactly what you're doing? Someone's mounting on you. You have to know how to get out. You need fundamentals for that, right? So yeah, fundamentals are the key. Find a school that teaches excellent fundamentals. Of course, they'll teach advanced stuff later, but get one that's known for its fundamentals. Like Gracie Tampa South. Like, we have a whole fundamental curriculum.
So here's another good one for you that I kind of noticed just watching fighting throughout the course. Fundamentals are always your basis. I mean, you look at who's the greatest jiu-jitsu practitioner in the history of MMA. Very debatable, but you can usually put top 3 at least as Damian Maia.
Oh yeah.
Damian Maia's jiu-jitsu is blue belt jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It literally is. He's going to take you down.
Yeah,
he's going to come. He's got a single leg sweep from half guard. He gets on top and he just pressure passes your guard, gets to the mount, gets to the back. It's like, it's systematic as it comes.
And he does the dog fight right from half guard.
Things that aren't supposed to work. Things that aren't supposed to work.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I have noticed recently is that we're starting to see a lot of the more dynamic jiu-jitsu that maybe people would think isn't going to, leg walks won't work in MMA, or that rolling back take, that Berimbolo won't work in MMA, or this won't work in MMA. The point I'm trying to make is, and then when I have MMA fighters, because I have MMA guys that come into my gym all the time. Yep. I got a couple guys that come in like to train and just like to take jiu-jitsu. And every time I watch them, I'm showing something jiu-jitsu oriented and they're doing something MMA oriented. And I look at them and I'm like, look, dude, like, I understand that you're doing this for MMA.
You could punch them when you're here.
I get it. But there's also an opportunity where possibly you can use that dynamic thing if you know how to time it. And you're not going to do that unless you practice it in the room. Do you agree that, because there's people that'll say, no way, I'll never do a heel hook. Do you agree that this is a thing? Like, we're starting to see this crazy jiu-jitsu starting to happen in UFC?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, I'll just name 2 guys who I think are incredible. Tackett, Andrew Tackett. William Tackett's great too, but I think Andrew's like a special dude, grappler. And then Rotolo.
Yeah, Rotolo.
Their match, right? You guys watch their match in CJI. Some of the things that these athletes are able to do with their bodies when they're passing and they're moving are not. It's like Matrix. So they have both been training jiu-jitsu since they were children, like little kids, like their dads trained, whatever it was. Andre Galval had Rotolo. And now they're 18, 19, 20 years old, whatever they are now, and they're grown-ups. And they have all these years of and they competed the whole time, all this competition experience, and they're freaking athletes. Like, these are guys that maybe could have done other sports and maybe made it professionally. They're just athletes. And you see what they can do. And you see some of them now are trying to fight MMA. I don't know if you saw, like, the Rotolos are doing MMA now. And, like, when I watched, like, I think it was in ONE FC or something, they're not just doing jiu-jitsu. They're striking, like, fast. And, like, that caliber of athlete and, like, I can't be beat mentality, like, go forward. It's going to be freaking insane what they're going to be able to pull off with jiu-jitsu. Like, all the stuff that we see in jiu-jitsu, we're like, oh, that would never work MMA. They're going to make it work in MMA. You saw it a little bit with Gary Tonin. He did MMA, and, he has, like, a very crazy game all over the place, leg locks, and he's just good everywhere. And he was hitting some of that stuff. But I think now, and Gary Tonin's probably a decent athlete, but these guys are different. Like, I'm telling you, like, guys like these 2 I just named are going to pull off everything that you do in jiu-jitsu. They're going to pull it off in MMA. But traditionally, guys like Marcelo Garcia, good friend of mine, awesome guy, one of the best grapplers on planet Earth. He didn't have success in his first MMA match. He did win, but nothing really was, like, it didn't look like Marcelo Garcia when he was in there, right? He took the back and he didn't finish from the back. I was like, this is impossible. He finishes everybody from the back. Why isn't it working MMA? We just saw Buchecha fight MMA last Saturday, and he lost.
That's crazy.
To a guy that doesn't, he's like a blue belt. Like
crazy.
he doesn't even train jiu-jitsu that much.
What is it? What's the other guy? Rodolfo Vieira gets guillotined by some dude named Chubby or Tubby or whatever his name was.
So, MMA is a different beast. If I put a leg lock on you and I pop your knee, that doesn't mean the match is over.
Exactly right.
That just means he's pissed off
now. You got a blown knee, right?
And he's in a great position to punch my head when I'm laying down like that. Like, so I guess if you get the honey hole and you get it really in and you really destroy his ACL or LCL, whatever, maybe you get it here and there. But there's a different beast called MMA. It's a reason Gordon Ryan doesn't do it. There's a reason these guys aren't doing it.
Right.
And again, maybe Gordon can make it work in MMA, but maybe he fights a guy like Buchecha just fought, and he's like, you ain't taking me down. Yeah. And if I do get down, I'm getting right back up.
When I used to box, we used to talk about that a lot. And there's something about amateur fighters. Like, there's a lot of times the transition from being an amateur to a pro doesn't really happen. And because when you're an amateur, it's a different game. You got headgear on, you got big gloves on. It's a points game. You're moving around, and you're very skilled.
Yeah.
There are quite a few professional boxers that make it to the very elite level, and their boxing skills aren't that great.
Right.
They are just tough.
They're just tough.
Son of a bitches.
The lights turn on, and they turn on.
And when the lights come on, you got to kill that son of a bitch.
That's it.
And there's something to that.
They probably have a strong why.
Exactly. Quick question. This is something, and I got a few other things. I don't want to get too far off topic because I got a few other things I'm going to cover, and I appreciate it because this has been very, very insightful. Like I love listening to you talk. I'm in awe of just being around you sometimes, and I take it for granted.
Thank you.
Do you think that toughness can be taught? Do you think, because there is a certain degree of people that are born with it, but I also think that toughness can be cultivated. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I would say someone who's born with it is going to have a much easier time, and they're going to be way tougher than the guy who learns it. So I always take Billy Q because his brothers beat him up most of his life. He was the youngest, and he got beat up most of his life. I don't know if Billy was born tough, but he sure as hell got tough from. So I think as an adult, if you've never been through adversity from like 0 to 21, and then at 21, we're like, let's see if we can make this kid tough. I'm sure we can make him tougher than he is. That's what jiu-jitsu is. We see it every day. We bring them into jiu-jitsu. We see what they're made of. And some people, even if they've never been through much adversity, maybe they were born with whatever that little extra gear is. They have it, and they didn't know they had it until they were put in a situation where you got a 200-pound guy mounted on you, and they're just not giving up, and they're pushing it off, and they're fighting. We can make him way tougher, right? Like that guy was born with something he didn't know he had. But the Billy Q guy who's just tough all his life, and it's funny, that guy's going to always be tougher.
It's funny you bring that up, too, because I use this analogy sometimes, too, when I think about Billy Q and I think about Matt Frivola, and you talk about someone that came through adversity, like Billy Q came up, he had four brothers that beat the shit out of him this whole time. Who knows? 4 kids, maybe he had to share things, whatever.
Right.
Then you look at a guy like Matt Frivola. And I love Matt Frivola, but Matt Frivola, his dad's got a pretty good construction business. He's pretty well off.
Right.
So, and another analogy is Muhammad Ali, and this is something a lot of people don't consider about Muhammad Ali. Now, Muhammad Ali grew up in the South in the 60s, so he had a rough life. However, Muhammad Ali's family was relatively well off. They were middle class. So, like, that whole idea of you need to have adversity to make it in the fighting world, it helps.
It helps.
But there are certain animals that are they're just about that life.
Yeah, Matt Frivola is a different example where I think, so he has a twin brother, a lot of people may not know.
Oh, he does, that's right, McCheesy.
And Matt is extremely competitive. So like growing up with a twin brother who's just as athletic as you, or maybe you don't think so and he doesn't think so, and you're competing against your sibling your entire freaking life. Matt, I think, drives on competition. Like, he wants to win. He wants to not only win, he wants to beat the best guys. Like, so many times I had to say no to certain fights. He's like, let's just fight this guy. I'm like, not yet, no, Matt, no. And then we fight him, and Matt beats them. So he's just as tough as Billy, I think. We get in that third round, they'll go back and forth. Maybe Billy, at the end of the third round, would probably push ahead. But Matt's just as tough, just as strong, just as his why is just as strong.
You're going to cause some shit with that one.
I don't care.
We've been watching them two spar each other for a long time.
We've watched Matt and Billy spar for a long time. As the rounds go deeper, it's always better off for Billy. It's not nothing. It's Matt. It's just everybody. The rounds get better for Billy.
Quick follow up to that, and this is something that I want to
So competition can spur that, not just adversity growing up.
So I've rolled with you for a very long time. Like you're like, I honestly, if there's one person in the world I think I've rolled with, I don't think there's anyone I've rolled with more than you. We rolled together every goddamn day for freaking 10 years, probably 6-7 years.
My deep half guard defense is good.
Every time I
because of
see you
this
go
guy.
against somebody with deep half guard, I'm like, you're welcome.
I got him. Yeah, it's good.
One of the things that I tell people about you, not just you in the room, but you as a competitor, is you are without question one of the most unbreakable people I've ever met in my entire life. It's almost like it's your mutant ability. And I'm the guy that breaks people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mean to say that, but like that's my style. Like I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna be in your face. I might not be the most athletic, I might not be the most skilled, but I'm gonna be on your ass the whole time. And eventually you're just like, what in the hell is going on? And I've yet to this day, I can always, every role we have, I always know the moment when I break.
Yeah.
Where do you get that from? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I didn't grow up with much adversity of like physical beatings like Billy did.
Yeah.
But I grew up with some adversity for sure. But I would say I'm a mix between Billy and Matt. Like I had some adversity, but I'm very competitive. Like I think I'd say I'm more competitive than
I've played board
tough.
games with you and Natalia.
Yeah.
I know. I see that.
Like I was the kid that when he lost, he would cry and run away. Like I was like I couldn't handle it. And then you get older, you learn how to use that. But so
have you grown throughout the years? Because I look at things as two different dynamics, and I'm not sure which one I am sometimes. There's people that hate to lose, and there's people that love to win. Do you think throughout life you've changed to a love to win guy? Or do you still get haunted by that hate to lose? It's funny because I don't know which one I am sometimes.
Yeah, I'm probably more hate to lose. Like if you had to put it on a scale, it's probably like 70% hate to lose, 30% love to win. Because we all know when we win, you feel that good feeling for 2 seconds, and you're like, what's next?
Yeah.
But when you lose, you feel that for a very long time, like in my stomach. I just competed. I basically came off the couch to compete in the tournament because long story short, there were some opportunities I was going to have to compete in a bigger show. So I came home from Italy and 4 days later competed. And so my cardio sucked. But I was like, let's just freaking do it. And I lost in the finals to a kid I beat before 10 years ago. I'm still thinking about that right now. Like if I had beat him, it would have been that night. I'd be like, that was awesome. It was fun. Gone. Like it's freaking done. Like what's next for me? What am I going to do?
It's the reason why I hate competing. I literally, there's a part of me that loves it. I love the training.
Yeah.
But I know if I lose, the only thing I'll think about is when I'm going to compete again.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I think about. It's the only thing I think about. And it'll drive me crazy.
That's where I'm at mentally with that. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's with even in like anything I'm doing in life, like business or this or that. Like if we have a bad month, I'm like, oh, how could this have happened? Like, and that's what drives. If we have a good month, I enjoy it that month, and then dude, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. Like,
it's funny how the losses drive you more than the wins.
It is. Yeah.
The wins are great, but they go away, and then it's right back to get back to work again.
It's a great night and a great weekend.
Yeah.
So you win that weekend, it's a great night. The rest of the weekend, you're on cloud 9, and then you get back Monday, and life's still exactly the same. It's like nothing changed. I just won that match. It was an experience I had. I could add it to my list, and let's go. But when you lose, you think about it. And you're like, what could I have done different? Why did he get that position? How in the world was I not able to get out of that?
Do you think?
What was
do you think success is based on learning to lose and learning to learn from that and dealing with that in a more constructive manner?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me read this quote.
Yeah.
It sums up everything. And if you guys haven't read this one book,
I'm ready. Let's hear it. I read everything you send me.
I just finished it, and I'm like almost finished it for the second time. But it's very wise. It's called the Almanac of Ravi Kamenet. I'll tell you right now. Okay. This is key. So this is a little nugget from the book. A happy person isn't someone who's happy all the time. It's someone who effortlessly interprets events in such a way that they don't lose their innate peace. Like you got to read that 100 times before it even like blows your mind. Like, and I think when I read that, I resonated with it because I think I naturally somehow, I don't know if it's from my fighting career or just having to move forward or going through adversity, I naturally do this.
Yeah.
Like
you're good at that.
you're not going to break my peace like for too long.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a little baby window, like, I can't believe I lost.
You made a joke earlier about how I'm a father. It breaks me sometimes. You've seen it. It's like I've never seen you.
Yeah.
Very very rarely have I ever seen you flustered.
But it's like, okay, even God forbid a death in the family. It's like that freaking sucks. But how could I think of this? How could I frame this in a way where it doesn't take my peace? Well, he was 95. Like, I loved him. I'm gonna miss him, but he was 95. He had lived a great life. You got to frame it in a way where it doesn't kill you and break you. I lost the tournament. Life is still going on for every human on this earth. I lost a big UFC fight. That sucks for me. I lost half my money because you only get half the money if you lose. But I could train Monday. I'm good.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world gives two shits. Like, nobody. Like, you make this so, like, if you want to lose a jiu-jitsu tournament, your coach would be like, dude.
Oh, you're going to come in, and the whole gym's going to be like, oh, you're a loser. Don't ever come in here.
Like, don't
Nobody
make
cares.
it bigger than it is. Like, a good example, George St. Pierre, when he had the biggest fight of his life, 5-round wars, he's going against freaking the biggest beast that there is coming up that wants to take his belt. He said the morning of his fight, he'd get in his car and drive around Vegas and be like, nobody gives a shit about me. He's like looking around at people walking. He's like, nobody cares if I lose tonight. Like, it doesn't change the world. It doesn't, I'm not that important. Let's go. Yeah, it just takes the pressure off. But yeah, if you could effortlessly interpret events in such a way that you don't lose your peace, what could break you? What could hurt you? You just keep going forward. So I thought that was cool. So it's the book is actually called, so I don't want to screw this up. I'm actually re-listening to it right now because everything's a writer downer. Like, everything. I had to like stop it. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
We'll get a little post up. Ian, we'll stick that up here in the window for people, for the folks at home to see.
I'm like obsessed with it. I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna listen to it one more time. I'm gonna write down everything from it. But yeah.
So I got one more question for you, then we're gonna leave because you've given me your time. I know you're a busy guy, and I appreciate you. But
my pleasure, anytime.
So there's a book called The Compound Effect.
Oh yeah.
And for those of you that don't know it, you should read that book. You definitely have to read it down. That one has
my number
changed
one.
my entire perspective on life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about you, just hearing your story from where we are now, I mean, you had a 1-1 career in MMA. Monster Lobster was like, hey, you want to be in the UFC? And you were like, I don't really want to, but I'll do it because I want to be famous.
Yeah.
Like, you have managed to take that, 15 minutes of fame, right? And compound that into where we are now. And folks at home, if you don't know who Matt Arroyo is, you should Google him because he's an absolutely incredible person that is a completely very, very successful person at everything he's ever tried. I'm sure there's things that you've lost. However, but you don't show it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think what is your driving force? And what do you think people at home can do to take advantage of that?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, it's just like constant growth, right? So it would have been very easy for me to say, okay, my goal physically was to get into the UFC. My goal physically, I say physically because you probably have to be a little younger to do this, but my goal physically was to get in the UFC and to do ADCC. Check. I didn't win a belt in UFC. I didn't win ADCC, but I made it to those two big shows amongst the best people in the world. That was what was in my head to do. You can never take that away. I was at the right place at the right time. I happened to get into the video game in UFC. Like, that should have never happened. Like, I didn't have the record to be in the video game. Billy Q's not even in the video game. He's done way more than me in MMA, right? I was sitting at a table at the right place. I don't know how it's like you. Somehow you're just at a table.
It happened to be at the right place.
At the right place. Like, we had like this billionaire guy come in. I wasn't there that day. Kevin happens to be sitting right there. And he's the one that gets on the jets and private lessons and all that.
Joe around his Lamborghini.
Yeah,
No big deal. Not bitter.
Yeah, take a helicopter to the UFC in Orlando, whatever that was.
No, not bitter.
So, but I happened to be at the right place at the right time. And like I told Kevin, we're both opportunists. And Dana White said to Ben Saunders, told me, I'm going to ask Dana White to be in the video game. I go, okay, well, where are you going to be sitting? He's like, right next to him. I'm like, all right, well, save me that seat. So I sit there and I'm just waiting. I'm like, and Dana's at the head of the table. This is right after Tough. He takes you all out to dinner. It's pretty cool. No big deal.
No big deal.
And we're sitting there, and Ben's like, Dana, it's been my lifelong dream to be in the UFC. Thank you for these opportunities. My second lifelong dream was to be in a video game. Is there any way? And it was just coming out. Like, it was, I forget the company, EA, not EA, but it was something else. Undisputed, UFC Undisputed, 2009. And he's like, can you put me in this video game? And Dana White's like, I never forget it, because I was like my popcorn, like, is he gonna say yes? And Dana White's like, you want to be in the fucking video game? I'm gonna put you. I go, Dana, that was also my dream as well.
Since I was a little kid.
And dude, nobody was listening. Everyone was chatting and drinking. Me and him weren't drinking. We were just talking. We were like picking Dana's brain. And he's like, you want to be in it too? I'm going to fucking put both of you in there. And in my head, I'm like, it's probably never going to happen.
I can't wait. I see Ben Saunders a lot at tournaments. I can't wait to have that conversation.
And I look at Ben, we're like high five, we're like, yes, like this is going to happen. If Dana says it's going to happen, I think it's going to happen. So
I'm gonna have Ben on the podcast and have him tell that same story again.
2 years later, I'm like, nothing. I'm like, whatever, it didn't happen. And all of a sudden, the game comes out. And I get like a $2,500 royalty check in the mail out of nowhere. I'm like, I'll take it. What is this for? UFC. Video game. I'm like, no way. And then I swear to you, I get a ticket. I get a ticket because I'm flying to the video game store, which I don't really go to because I don't play video games. But I'm like going 70 and a 30, and I go and I see the lights. I'm like, no. They pull me over, and I'm have the magazine with my picture in it of the video game. And I'm like, I'm getting out of this. Cop's like, yeah, what are you thinking? And he was pissed. I'm like, dude, listen, I'm in the UFC. I'm in a video game. It just came out today. I'm racing to the store to get it. Here's the proof. He goes, go get it, champ. I'm like, yes. So I freaking pull it out and I get it. But
go get it, champ. That's awesome.
My point is, that's a cool story, but my point is, I could rest on that, the reality show, all that good stuff. The gym is doing well. And I could have just sailed off, right? Like just compound effect. Just keep doing that and things will compound into better stuff and whatever. But if you're always thinking constant growth, the adage would be, okay, so what? At the time, let's see, 2 years ago, I was 40 years old, right? 40 years old. All that stuff's behind me. I have a family now. I have a good gym. Everything's going well. But if you think like Al Bundy, like I scored 4 touchdowns in one game back in high school.
Right.
I swear to you, in my head, the best is yet to come. That's how I feel. I'm 40 years old. Am I going to beat like the best guys in the world anymore? Probably not. Like I'll still hold my own with whoever, but the best in life is still yet to come. There's still more to do. There's not, like, I'm not done, right? Like, I could have been, I'm done. I did that. But the best is yet to come. So I see this guy, Malachi Friedman, and he's got 300,000 followers. I see him at an event. I'm like, how did you have those followers? Because I've been trying to get more popular on the internet for years, since the UFC, like years, and I just haven't been able to figure it out. He points me in the right direction to a guy named Kyle, who we both know and who we're both using his services right now. And literally, I feel like overnight, I went from 3,000 followers to hundreds of thousands of followers. And now everybody knows again, like, oh, this is Matt Arroyo. Most people that I meet today online or at events, they don't even know I fought in the UFC. Like,
and they know you from Instagram.
It's from Instagram teaching jiu-jitsu. So like the best is yet to come. Like, and even with that, like, okay, we have an online academy, 16 courses. We're helping so many people in jiu-jitsu right now. I'm trying to take big advanced concepts and make it dumb proof and just put it out, and people are liking that, right? And they're following and they're buying our courses, and so I'm thinking, okay, we're in a great spot now, but this isn't it, man. There's more. Like there is more. Like you're gonna see. We're gonna talk in 2 years about how I said there's more, and we're like, I don't know what it is. I don't even know. Like I said in the very beginning of the podcast, like I have trouble with vision. Like where am I going from here? I trust in God. You know I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus. I trust in God, and I pray literally every day. I pray for all my friends. I pray for my family, and I pray, number one thing, I pray for guidance. Like, where you want me to go, that's where I'm going to go. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to resist it. If you think I should be here, I'm going to do this. If you think I should be there, give me the sign. I get signs like you think I'm crazy, but it can't be me being crazy. It's my wife. She gets signs in the clouds. Like it's crazy when you give your life to Jesus and you just say, whatever, dude, my way doesn't work. Let's get the source. And that's where I get it. Everybody's like, what's the secret? What's the magic? There isn't. That's it for me. And I listen. And if one thing I'll say for me is I'm a coach, but I'm also coachable. Like with Kyle, he's like, do this. Do these videos. Say this, say that, do that. Frame it this way. Ask him. I don't ask him any questions. Yeah. Let's do it. I'll say exactly what you want me to say. I'll teach it. And we'll go from there. And so if you're going to be a great coach, if you're going to be great at anything, you have to be coachable. But make sure you're taking the coaching from the right people. Yeah. Right? The people who are where you want to be, and okay, I'll listen to you. If your whole family isn't where you want to be, I love you, mom, dad, this, that, whatever, however you want to talk to your family, don't take advice from people who aren't where you want to be. Even if it's your parents, even if it's your uncle, even if it's your brother, your sister, your mother. Find the right people, and then I would even say almost blindly just do it. Just freaking take the advice and just do it and see what happens. So,
brother,
that's my story, dude.
I'll tell you just from personal experience, like I am starting to see this compound effect. It took me a little while,
Yes.
and it's just like you say, I don't really know where it's going. I just know if I work hard,
It's going.
and I keep pointing in the right direction, good things are going to happen. And you build a little bit here, you build a little bit there, and before you know it, you get where you're going.
If you haven't read Compound Effect,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the audience now.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. It's the easiest read you'll ever read. It's the #1 book I recommend. Like if someone says, "What should I read?" I hate reading. I give them that one first because it is the foundation for anything else you're going to do. You think of Compound Effect as money, but it's not just money. Like you put money in, compound comes, interest, interest, interest. But that's literally jujitsu. That's literally business. That's literally your relationships, your wife, your kids. You compound good deeds, good whatever. It compounds over time and it grows like you never believe it. And when you hit that big mo, they talk about something called big mo, momentum. You don't even. It's scary. So compound effect.
I'm working on it. I've studied you and listened to you, and it's finally starting to sink into my thick skull. But
that's awesome.
So that was a good one, buddy. Really
Thanks,
good, man.
man.
I appreciate you,
thank
man.
you.
As
My
always, you're an all-star. I never questioned it for a second.
Appreciate
Been
you.
looking forward to this for a while, and thank you very much for your time because I know you're very busy.
My pleasure.
Um,
And this guy is an example of the compound effect because just in 5 short years, not even, I mean, I don't know how much they know about your beginnings, but he went from,
I was a bartender.
to visit Kevin, I would go to a bar where they're smoking and he's in there,
throwing homeless people
He's
out.
got a smile on his face, but you see behind it, he's like, this fucking place, I got to do this and this and that. To now running a super successful academy. He's an online, authority now in jiu-jitsu and a writer. Dude, the list goes on. I'm so proud of this guy. It's freaking crazy.
Thank you, man. It's
He's
funny.
one of the very few who actually listens and is coachable and does the thing. He doesn't just talk about it.
I just grind, dog.
He just grinds.
I'm a grinder. I put my head down.
The stretch class. We started stretch class together like 6 years ago with Charlie Tresvant, best stretch coach on the planet Earth.
R.I.P. Love you, Charlie. Not
And
R.I.P.
I will say I was with him, and then I fell off. And this guy still freaking stretches every day, and he's splitting. And I'm not even going to split. It's a compound effect. It's not just stretching. You could use it in every area of your life, and you just keep compounding.
Two things I've learned in life. One of them I'm pretty damn good at, and one of them took me a little bit more to figure out. You got to work hard. You just got to be a good dude. Be a good person. It's so crazy how people forget that. People have one, not the other.
Right.
Like you just have to be a good person.
Yeah.
People will do things with you if you're not an asshole.
That's it.
Don't be a dick.
Do right by people.
That's
do right
it.
by people.
Do right by people. Take care of the people that are taking care of you, and work your ass off.
It could take 10 years, 20 years to grow an amazing reputation, and literally 10 seconds to destroy it.
Yeah.
One stupid decision. I am one stupid decision away from destroying everything.
Yeah.
One. What's the Big Leap? Read the book, The Big Leap.
Yeah.
It talks all about that. We're all one stupid decision.
Don't throw a hand grenade.
Don't throw the hand grenades. But yeah,
Well, Matt,
that's what
thank
I got.
you very much. You guys can check out Matt Arroyo on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Matt
anywhere you
Arroyo
want.
MMA.
Matt Arroyo MMA. He is the man. His content is stellar. And if you haven't seen it already, which I don't know, you probably just don't have social media. You're one of them weirdos. But like Matt is everywhere. You should check him out. Matt, anything you want to plug? Anything we want to talk about before you go? Or?
Just if you don't follow me on Instagram or one of the socials, it's Matt Arroyo MMA. It's a free video literally every day for the last 2 years. Actually, what's today? We just hit 2 years.
2 years, wow.
Every day for the last 2 years, we put a new video up, a brand new video on all 4 platforms. MattArroyo.com if you want to check out my online academy or any of my courses. If you need help in jiu-jitsu, that's where it's at. Other than that, if you're in Tampa, come see us at Grace Tampa South, Gracie Trinity. We're all together. We're all training together all the time. And feel free to drop in. A lot of people drop in who follow me. They drop into the school. You'll feel like family. So
very approachable guy. Well, all right, man. Thank you very much, Matt.
pleasure.
Thank you, folks at home. This has been another incredible
Thanks for
episode
listening.
of the Old Man Grappling Hour.
am I officially old then? I'm in the old man.
you're fan. I would never tell you that, Matt. But
43. All right. That's what 43 is. It's all good.
guys, thanks. It takes a lot. Check it out. We got a lot more coming where this came from. Boom.
Peace, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.